Hi, I'm David Charlton, and this is Demystifying Mental Toughness Podcast. 5 minutes for a series of 10 episodes on a Tuesday for those interested in football or soccer and who want to play their best more often. Hi and welcome to the first of 10 episodes dedicated to football or soccer. I sincerely hope that you get a lot from my insights and ideas. You'll find I select one situation in each episode and offer some advice. You can also find helpful tips and tricks in the X Factor, a regular newsletter I send out to those interested in football and want to improve. Now, on the subject of improvement, many footballers are driven to improve. They strive day in, day out to get better. They sleep, eat, they breathe football. Some might even sleep in their favourite kit. Football's on their brain 24 hours a day, and maybe this is you. Do you scroll through your favourite apps for football videos, news, or articles to help you? Many talented and driven footballers are like you, and noticeably, many footballers spend a lot of time thinking about the technical and the tactical side of the game. They'll spend countless hours refining their touch, improving their passing, their shooting, their positioning. The gym might also be a place they enjoy going to, pushing their bodies while strengthening their upper and lower bodies and their core. Yet the mental game, your mental game, well, it often gets left to chance. Is this you, I wonder? Do you consider the psychological side to football important? Maybe, you recognise that playing with confidence is a big thing, that being brave in the tackle, or when your team falls behind, being resilient, bouncing back positively is a must. Setting yourself targets, being committed to these goals, despite setbacks, injuries perhaps, and then delivering on promises by putting the hard yards in training and in the gym, and keeping you cool on the pitch. What would happen to you if you treated your mental game seriously, really seriously, as many of the top professionals do? Would it mean a new contract, perhaps a lucrative move, or getting selected regularly in a starting lineup? There's a lot of mystery around the mental side of football. Old-fashioned coaches, they might pass on the message that it's a whole lot of rubbish, codswallop, that you should just simply get on with it. Some may think that psychology is for those who've got problems, for the weak. Then you've got some who just think it's for the real elite, top professionals. I tend to disagree. So yeah, I'd say, as would many people, with this attitude, that's right, you're only going to reach about 50% of your potential. You might work on things in training that in reality won't make any difference to the way that you perform on the pitch in a match. You might lose your way because you focus too much on pleasing your coach. You might lose the love of the game because you don't fully understand some of the traps that you fall into when you get comfortable. And fear of making a few little changes in your habits might just hold you up. So I've got one simple message from today's podcast episode. I'd love you to simply be curious. Different definitions for curious are eager to know or learn something, or having a strong desire to know about something. Try this approach, I'd say. Why? When you place a question mark against things, that process of interest, of investigation, can often bring rewards that you never thought were possible. Navy SEALs often talk about the mind giving them another 20%. They recognise that in some situations they can give a lot more than they first thought. If you engage your mind fully by doing so, if you move away from being self-centred or self-absorbed to being fully engaged in what you're trying to achieve, being curious can often mean growth. So how can you do that? You can do it by being courageous. Have you ever trained for hours on end on your free kicks, with a mixture of great free kicks, good free kicks, average free kicks, and absolutely rubbish free kicks? But you learned something. You learned exactly which part of the boot to strike the ball with, and which part of the boot not to strike the ball with, and how many strides you needed to take in the run-up, and the direction of your run-up. And that was because you put the time and the effort in. You worked through uncomfortable feelings of missing, of putting the ball in row Z, the frustration of maybe, the frustration of putting it in row Z. And this, arguably, can be the same. The mental game, it's not straightforward. We're all wired differently. We're all born. We're all raised by different people and in different environments. Even twin personalities, they can be very different. And so are we. And this impacts on how we think, how we feel, and how we behave in different situations. Our decision making, and especially when the pressure's on. So again, please do look deeper. Look under the surface around football psychology. I'm going to help you with a content library I'm building and with content that I curate from other people. Also, I'd say be curious in general when it comes to your game and your performance as a whole. Delve deeper into strength and conditioning. Don't just accept that you are fast. Learn to get faster. Delve into your nutrition, your rest and recovery. How can you sleep better? It might just be another 1 or 2% on your performance. So take a leaf out of what the best players in the world do. Seek to keep learning. And on the topic of learning, you may wish to sign up to the X Factor, a regular newsletter I've recently started sending out to footballers, coaches, academy directors, directors of football, parents of footballers, basically anybody who's got an interest in football performance. It's going to help you learn an awful lot more about becoming a better player. Details are in the show notes. That's all from me for now. Until next week's ramblings, be curious.